Welcome back to the Enlightened Misfits podcast. You have your host, Lauren. In today's episode, I have an amazing guest here for you guys. Her name is Priya. She is a spiritual counselor. Hi, Priya. Thanks so much for being here with us. Now, tell the listeners how you got started, what a spiritual counselor is, and I so want to hear about this. She calls it and tell me if I'm saying this wrong, SMI framework.
Hi, Lauren. Thanks for inviting me to this podcast. It's really a great pleasure. And a very good morning to everyone who is listening to this podcast. So, I would like to introduce myself as a spiritual counselor and healer who is responsible for helping individuals to achieve their professional and personal goals using SMI framework by investing less than 40 minutes a day. So, talking about SMI, S stands for spiritual healing. So, people who will be coming to me will be having some or the other kind of challenges. So, by seeking the guidance using the tools that I have, they will receive spiritual healing for that. Then, their mindset will be aligned in the direction of their goal. For example, if someone is having facing blocks in becoming financially abundant, so using the tools, I'll come to know what are the blocks they are facing. I'll do spiritual healing. Then I'll try to align their mindset in the direction of their financial goals. If they are aware of, if they have the clarity about their financial goals, that is fine. Otherwise, they will be given support to achieve clarity about their goals. And finally, I stands for imposter syndrome, meaning they will be supported to lead the life of their dreams. So again, next part is they will be given time to identify what kind of life they want to lead. So for example, a daily routine, and uh, it will include both their professional and personal life, how their life will look like maybe one few years down the line, and they will be given support. They will be trained on how to lead the kind of life. So that is SMI framework. Post that, post that my as per the package which I have, I also provide support to them even after the healing is completed or their duration is completed, so as to monitor each month. It includes two meetings, so as to monitor if they are doing well, if any new challenges has come up, which will be addressed, and they will be given support to resolve those challenges. Also, these meetings will ensure whether they are on track. They will be monitored. They will get a chance to monitor themselves if they are on track as per their goals, if they are still doing what they were being told to do. So all these will do. So this might be called as annual maintenance activity or so. So yearly they are charged a nominal one. So till the time they want, again it is up to them. So some people, there are some clients who definitely attend the monthly sessions. However, there are few who do not feel the need to attend. So it is up to them whether to get that annual maintenance contract or not.
Awesome. Okay, so for the listeners, the SMI framework is basically the foundation that you said that you help with individuals. Now, is this something that you created, or I've never heard of the SMI framework? So can you for some of the listeners, what does the S stand for? Is that spiritual, you said?
Yeah, S stands
Okay.
for spiritual healing. So I
Okay.
do have some tools and techniques with me, as I have been trained by one of the top global mental health leader. She is a
Oh,
mental
okay.
health, yeah, and
Okay.
she is also a medium. So through the
Okay.
mediumship, she has prepared these courses, then ascended master codes. So she
Oh,
works with ascended masters. They are there in the form of codes, or we can say symbols, through which, so we it is said like it is completely divinely guided.
oh,
We are
love
just the,
that. We are all here
yes,
for the divine, right? Love that. Okay, so
absolutely.
that's what the S stands for. Okay, so then what does the M stand for?
M stands for mindset alignment. So
Okay.
once they undergo healing, say after a couple of days or once they are finished with the healing, their mindset is being aligned in the direction of goals. For example, if my client is facing financial issues, If my client has a clarity on how much he or she should earn per year or say per month, so through some financial affirmations or through visualization, their mindset is being aligned in the direction of these goals.
Gotcha. And then the I stands for?
Yeah, I is imposter syndrome, meaning
Okay.
that post this, they are given time to identify the kind of life to lead. Say we can say dream life. If a person, if my client is very clear, pretty clear about what kind of life they want in terms of their relationship, in terms of their finances, in terms of their health, and all the others. This does not include only one particular, but as a whole, all the aspects of their life. So they are given time to gain clarity over that. If a person is clear, then they are given support to work on that. So using some simple techniques, they are being told to use those techniques regularly so that they start leading a life of their dreams.
Awesome. I love that. I
We can
love
say
that.
empowerment. Yeah, so we can say empowerment. So it is not just healing, okay, but it includes empowerment as well.
Right. I love that you incorporate the imposter syndrome, because I feel like every level for me, every level that I go through in my business or, in healing, it's always that next, you got to get to that next level. And it's like that resistance, right? Like that's kind of like what you're probably talking about, right? Am I right? The resistance from that imposter syndrome to kind of, that this is where you want to go, but it's like that resistance. So
Yes,
that, I love that.
absolutely.
I love that you help your clients with that. So for the listeners that are listening that this resonates with, because I think this is awesome. I was so excited to interview because I was like, what is this framework? So thank you so much for explaining all that to us. So when you work in the realm with the spirit, like the spirit realm, in your counseling, is there a tailored approach that you take besides this SMI framework that is unique for people's needs and goals for each individual client?
Well, it is like first listening, getting to know what they are facing through. So initially, it's a listening approach, and in the meantime, actually, since it's been couple of period I have been working, so immediately, thought pattern starts in my brain on
Right.
what kind of approach should be followed for this particular client. Or well, there are some clients who just go for consultation, so who just want to seek the guidance through tarot card. I'm a tarot card reader, so through
Okay.
tarot card or through ascended masters deck, then they are given guidance. And also I seek guidance if a particular person needs healing or not. So there are some people who need healing, so it is my responsibility to tell them that okay, you need this particular healing, or it is a set of feelings which they need in order to resolve their challenge. But it is
Okay.
up to them whether to go for it
Right.
or no. So initially 3 sessions are given free for them, wherein they can just find out whether that particular modality is helping them or not. Usually it is helpful, so because it is divinely guided. Only thing is that person has to be that much receptive. And so if it works for them, they are I mean, they're okay to continue, or otherwise they are okay to even discontinue. So it
Yeah.
goes like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I love that you said that it's very divinely guided, and and you work, like you said, you work with the Ascended Masters, because
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot, in my perspective, there's a lot lately. I'm not sure if you watch Netflix or have watched Netflix, but this whole spiritual community, and it's like the negative realm of twin flames, and there's always like light, dark. I feel like that's what we always need, right? So but lately I feel like, because I'm a twin flame, I'm not sure how much you know about twin flames, but when
Yeah.
this whole series came out on Netflix, it's like you have to use discernment. And I feel like a lot of the things that you've been talking about, like on this call, it has been, you have to figure out what works for you, right? That's kind of what I teach too with my clients. But a lot of people are so vulnerable, and a lot of these the negative spectrum of the spiritual community is that vulnerability piece that people abuse, right? And that is what I love that you keep reiterating, that you have to do what's best for you. That you are very clear about if this works for you, it works for you. And then if this doesn't, I want you to discontinue. Like, you are actually actively telling people, I want you to discontinue, right? So I love that, and I know that probably keeps you in great integrity. So I do love that. And I wanted to reiterate that to our listeners, because a lot of times when you are vulnerable and you don't know where to go in your business, if it's healing, what spiritual tool to use. I mean, obviously you have to try what works for you. I mean, all of us have had to figure out what tool works, what doesn't, because just because this one tool works for you doesn't, like for me, it's human design. So it's like, that's the tool that I teach my clients and I use to help people understand themselves. But it doesn't mean that I don't use other things, right? Like other healing tools. So I love that. Okay. So then the other question that I am really intrigued to ask you is, so when you say that, I want you to discuss for the listeners, the significance of dedicating this 45 minutes a day to your spiritual practice. Now, there might be some people that say, I don't have 45 minutes. Would
Right.
5 minutes or 10 minutes a day be just as
Yeah.
consistent as an investment if people if that you have that one client or you have that one person that comes to you and they're like, I can't do 45 minutes. What do
Right.
you what is the significance of dedicating at least 5 minutes? Can you explain that to the listeners?
In that case, if a person is that much busy, if that he or she can't give 45 minutes, then even 5 to 10 minutes at least they should start with,
Mhm.
because even that will start making a difference in their lives. And in other case, in some of our modalities, there are some healing modalities which I have, in which it works distantly as well. So it is just like I have the name of that person, I know what for what purpose that person needs healing, and distantly I can just send healings through I mean, just being the medium of ascended masters, I can send healing to them, and then they slowly they'll start experiencing the results. But if they give 5 to 10 minutes as well, even that will start creating the difference in their lives. But I would say, if we compare a person who is investing 45 minutes with the person who is investing 5 to 10 minutes, the progress with 5 to 10 minutes will be little slow. If the 45 minutes person say takes 2 months to get healed, then the person who is taking 5 to 10 minutes, who is investing 5 to 10 minutes, might be little slow, say 4 months, 5 months, then they'll have to keep that much patience. So I should tell them that at least you do that consistently. Let it be a very small amount of time, but do that consistently, and then do more of a visualization. Because if we just visualize, as it has been proved that our subconscious mind is very powerful. So just before, and there are two at two particular point of times, before going to bed and immediately after getting up, this mind is very receptive. So if we visualize any of our goals during that, then our mind is able to manifest that. So if this thing they can do it very easily, and this is something which hardly requires any time. So visualization, it hardly requires any time, it doesn't take say 30-40 minutes, no. It's a matter of few minutes of time. So that is something which will help them, along with some 5 to 10 minutes affirmations. Because in the recent days there are certain techniques which have come up, which for which a person does not need to sit. Nowadays we are hearing of walking meditation, right? So if
Right.
you have heard,
Yeah.
so walking meditation is something, so it is just it is part of mindful meditation, wherein a person just have to be mindful of what he or she is doing. So even being mindful, if just to tell you in other terms, my tarot coach says that it is not necessary to just sit, close your eyes and meditate and it should work. Even if whatever you are doing, even if you are eating, even if you are having your lunch or dinner, if you're having it mindfully, even that is meditating. If you are,
Okay, so let's dive deeper into this, because I feel like even I feel like I don't want to call my boyfriend out, but I'm going to call him out on this podcast because I'm just going to use him as an example because, and I feel like this could be collectively. So
Yeah.
this excuse that I say, right? He's gonna really kill me, but it's fine. I love him. He knows I love him. This is all coming from love. So when I say that, because I have to meditate every single day. And my meditation looks different. And I feel like in the spiritual world, meditation, it's like, oh, you have to sit here for very quietly for 30 minutes, or you have to do this for 45 minutes, right? And I love that you said when you're walking, like, or if
Yeah.
you're eating and so for me, meditation always meant I'm conscious of what I'm thinking about. So I
Yeah.
know those programmings and those stories. So I can, for one, what is the story that I keep telling myself that's holding me back? It's going to come up in like that 7 hour, programming in my head, right? So I love that you said that you don't need to be sitting quietly. Now, a lot of people, especially for my boyfriend, has says that he has to sit quietly. And I want people to, the listeners here or anybody that's listening, or even him, because I know he'll listen, that hearing it from you and your perspective, I like that. Going on a walk or even eating lunch, to just be consciously like you're eating, right? You don't really need to be focusing on a video, or you don't need to be focusing on your phone. And a lot of people, I notice that if you're on your lunch break to distract yourself from daily life, we're always on our phones, scrolling social media. And it's like that isn't really mindful, right? So it's like taking that 30 minutes or even 5 minutes of your break to, if you're at work or just in a break in life, pretty much, right? That you're eating, to be mindful. So I love that. So can you explain, like, if somebody were to just be sitting somewhere, can you explain what it might look like or what it could look like that they can adapt this new way of meditation?
Well, Lauren, could you please come again? I
Yeah.
am.
So if you, when you like the one thing that I like that you said was, I'm sorry, let me be more clear. Sorry. So when you said when you're eating and being more mindful, right? That's meditation. I feel like the way that people understand meditation is like they have to be laying down or they have to be sitting in a quiet space to meditate. And when you said when that, and that is, I don't want to say it's the wrong way, because it might be the right way for somebody else, but can you give more examples of different ways that you can meditate? Like if it's at your desk and you're just consciously aware of your thoughts, or is there other, like you said, mindfulness walking meditations? Where else could somebody meditate when they don't have a lot of, like, if it's a person that's very busy that doesn't have a lot of time, could they do it in their car? Like, do they have to, do they have to sit quietly? Can you give some of the listeners, or people that are going to be watching this, ideas on
Well,
where else they can meditate?
okay. Well, Lauren, in that case, I'm not quite sure if a person is very busy, but I think in that case, what he or she can do is, they can just put up a music. Nowadays we do have some spiritual musics, right? Who which are, I mean, created on specific frequency, right? So YouTube, there are many, but then we don't have to be generalized, we have to be something specific, right? So music, it could be plain, I mean, not someone singing, but it's just like, if we watch a video, we get to see beautiful nature. Usually I
Yes.
used to play that during my during while treating my clients, like while sending healing to my clients one to one way. Okay, so there they have to select a specific one, specific frequency, which they have to work with their healer or some experienced person, say a meditation coach,
Mhm.
right? Music of specific frequency, they are available in both audio as well video form. So they can just put the ear plugs in their ear if they are too busy, and they should listen, because I believe that if a person is listening to that music, however busy the person may be or indulge in any other activities, definitely that music will create its effect, and it has to be on a regular basis. So having I mean, listening to it 1 or 2 days is not going to work, because anything, if you are doing consistently, definitely that is going to show the result. So even they have to do it this way, or it could be a mix and match. If they're little less busy, they can, I mean, practice the actual meditation, or in such special cases, I think this is the only way in which they
Yeah,
can do, because that
I
music is
definitely.
definitely cry create a positive effect on their minds, and some of them they go even deeper at the cellular level, right?
Yes, yes, I definitely resonate with everything like that. And I always say that, you know, we're all busy, but it's what you make time for that's the priority, right? So it's like somebody that's making it's I'm just going to be completely honest. It's probably just an excuse of why they don't, if they don't, one, don't understand the benefits of meditation, right? Or they don't understand the benefits of, um, doing the meditation or listening to the music or the sound bath or the healing or whatever that is going to help them because they never
Yeah,
tried it or it's like something new, right? So yeah, I definitely love
right,
that. Thank you for
right.
that advice. I feel like there's even me sometimes need to be reminded that I need to do more meditation.
That's
um,
really good.
so, so the last question that I have is, what advice do you have for an individual who may be skeptical about incorporating spirituality into their goal setting process? Like, how can they benefit from embracing this approach?
Okay, okay. So you mean to say if a person is skeptical to accept spiritual healing, then what should be my approach, right?
Yes. Yeah. Like, if somebody comes to you, that's skeptical about, the spirituality, because, a lot of it can be, it's the unseen energy. It's the, distant healing that we both know. And the collective of people in the spiritual community know that it works. How would you
Yeah.
kind of approach somebody that is willing to give it a try so that it can help with their goal setting process? Like what can you kind of help people understand how beneficial I think your approach is? Because I think
Well,
your framework and your approach is amazing. I love how you set that up. So I would love to know people that are listening to this that are skeptical about incorporating spirituality. They might be on the first level.
yeah,
What would you say
right.
to them?
So in that case, there could be two kinds of people, as you said. First one could be just to give it a try. So
Okay.
in case of such people, I would request them to chant the affirmation that I am open and receptive for the healing for my highest good, something like that. So usually I do it for each and every client of mine, because till the time they get their first healing, they are in a much better state, right? So they will be asked to repeat the affirmation, and then they will be taken through the process. So there, since it's a divinely guided, as I mentioned before, because chanting this affirmation will make them still little more receptive, little more ahead from where they are, right? And then once they move into that state, usually it is just 10-15 minutes or even 20 minutes session. So if the person is able to feel very peaceful, calm, or for some of them they are able to release their emotions, those who are very stressful or going through a very painful period, or for any reason they are able to, they start releasing their emotions. So either of these two happens, either the person will feel very very peaceful, calm, unlike before, or person is able to release. So these are the signs which will indicate that the healing has started working for them.
I love that.
So this is
I
the
love
way, because although the energy is unseen, still it is
that.
working. See, as we know, the divine is unseen, but still we trust. Trust makes our prayers work. Right? It is the same way. It is the
Yes.
same way.
Yes.
And for the category two people, those say who are even not ready to try, so I would like to tell them that okay, if you're not ready to, it's okay. I'll not force you, but you may go back, okay, and you may try anything else. I mean, you may just work on yourself, or you may do whatever you want, and then see if it is really working for you, if it is really helping you to resolve your issue. Because see, what happens is spirituality is all about self. It is about being
Yes.
yourself. Somewhere blocks are there at some or the other levels, because of which we are facing. For example, see, if I am if I'm earning very low in my career, so it is somewhere that I need to learn something, right? I need to probably upgrade my techniques, I need to do something. That is something which I realize with it. The answer lies in you, and that is all about spirituality. It is not about, so some people they do have the confusion that they have to worship, they have to practice religious things, then they have to worship something, they have to do the rituals. It is not at all about the rituals or worship or anything. Many people, even many people in India feel that way. But in that case, I just clear them, spirituality is about yourself. It is as simple as maintaining a very good relationship between your spouse or your family member. Even if you are able to do that, that says that definitely you are spiritual, right? So if at all a person is not spiritual or not willing to go, how he or she is able to improve? If the person is not able to understand that whatever he or she is experiencing in their external life, in any of their aspects, say health, wealth, or relationship, is just because something is incorrect, something is not right within themselves, probably at their mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual levels. Unless and until they are not willing to realize, that thing will not get corrected. And even if we see that it is getting corrected, it will be very, very temporary. So at times, just to give you an example, there are certain clients, if a client comes to me with a health issue, right? So probably the root cause of the health issue would be anything. It could not be just physical level, it could be mental level, right? It could be mental level or spiritual level. Probably the soul has created some karmas and they need to learn lessons. Now if they are just going through medication, that medication will, they will come to know that okay, that medication is working really for a limited time. After that, it is not resolving the issue 100%. Again, somewhere, sometime, in a small way or a larger way, they are still facing the issue. That means that it is has to be addressed at the different levels. So sometimes the people, they have stress issues, right? It has to be addressed at their mental levels. They feel that okay, they will not get healed. Somewhere block is within themselves, they feel that they are not going to heal, and they try lots of medications, different techniques, even the other exercises and all. Still it doesn't work. So somewhere, maybe through guidance, I come to know that okay, is this the reason? Then first work on yourself. Start doing the affirmation or believe in yourself. Trust the God. And then slowly it will start working. So it could be at any level, right? And till the time they are skeptical. So they will realize that some or the other point of time, they are not getting results through the approach which they are following. If that is the case, we probably, I'll say them, just to observe yourself, then 2 to 3 months more, down the line, or take your own time. If still you are not able to resolve, please come to me, because this is something which is not going to what you can say, harm them, or will not have any side effect, right? Now at least there are some medications which will have side effect, but this is something which is not going to have any kind of side effects on them. This is for sure going to benefit them. So this is the way in which I can convince the skeptical people.
I love that. Yeah. So I love that you said the answers lie within you. That is an amazing, amazing advice. So thank you so much for that. So for the listeners, where can they find you? Do you have a website? Is there something, do you have a free guide you can give people? How can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Yes, definitely. I can share my Facebook page. I do have a Facebook page,
Okay.
and website is in Instagram. I have Instagram profile.
Okay.
So
So I'll make sure, yeah, I'll
people,
make sure those links are in the description box. So everybody can, who wants to connect with you, can connect with you.
yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us on today's episode with the Enlightened Misfits podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with somebody you feel that would gain value from listening to this. So stay tuned for more captivating conversations in the future, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. We will see you next time.